All right, welcome into Prop 5 on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick on 5 Reasons Sports. I got David Ebersol. You can follow him at David W. Ebersol on We Still Call It Twitter. We want to tell you, as always, about PrizePicks. You use the code 5, F-I-V-E. They got this special deal. It is legal in the state of Florida. You put down $5. They give you 50 to play right away. That's right. Put down 5, get 50. No strings attached. All you got to do is make a play. That's it. You can play anywhere between 2 to 4 players together across different sports. Of course, NFL still going, maybe not here in Miami, but NHL, of course, the Panthers are hot as usual, and, of course, the Heat. We're going to talk about the Heat tonight. Full NBA slate, though, or fairly full NBA slate after everybody was off for the election. Everybody played on Monday. Before we get to the Heat props, do want to mention this one. If you want to pair something together, I mean, that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander prop seems too good to be true. Taco Tuesday, not Taco Tuesday, but they gave it a taco anyway because they didn't have anything on Wednesday. So Shea's at 23.5 points. If he went under against Orlando, he's going to find that against Denver, I believe.
They need him to score in that game.
They need him to score. I would play the I know that these sometimes can be sucker bets, but I'd play the 23.5 over. The other one I was looking at before we get to the Heat, Franz Wagner, that seems like a high number. I understand that Paolo's out, and I know they're playing Indiana, but 34.5,
Mm-hmm.
he hasn't hit that. I would play that one under today as well. Again, good player. They don't have Paolo, but I would play play Franz.
3 games in 4 nights too.
Yeah, I think that seems too high to me. I wish I had a little more in the holster right now to play it. So I'm gonna go with Franz under and Shea over on these. Let's get to the Heat and the Suns though. Heat's starting a 6-game trip. It's a difficult trip. They should have gotten that game against Sacramento. They're 3-3 now. They've got Phoenix, Denver, Minnesota. 3 teams over 500 in the West. Phoenix have been the best team other than OKC in the West. I actually have picked them to come out of the West, so I'm not particularly surprised. And then they get Detroit, 2 against Indiana. They got to figure out a way to get one of these 3, and I don't know which it's going to be because they haven't won in Minnesota or Denver in forever, and Phoenix is hot. Who would be your favorite play on the Heat tonight, David?
I mean, looking at these teams, offensive rebounding is probably their biggest weakness on both sides. So I was actually looking at the offensive rebounding for both Jimmy and Bam in this game. So Bam's at 2.5 offensive rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see he's at 9 in the last 2 games. He's been very active on the offensive glass. So I like that. And I also like Jimmy is at 1.5 offensive rebounds. You can see other than a letdown against the Kings the other night, he's pretty consistently over that 1.5. And Phoenix is 28th in offensive rebounding differential. They give up a lot on the offensive glass. So if you're going to attack a pretty solid Phoenix team overall, I think that's one of the places that Miami could take advantage and get some second chance scoring opportunities. And obviously, I think the best player offensively for the Heat so far has been Tyler Hero.
He has been.
I'm looking at this combo with him and Devin Booker. Even though Booker's been cold lately, he's only been 2 for his last 16 over the last 2 games. The volume's always there, and he started out shooting 45% from deep in the first 5.
Yep.
I like this combo over 6. I think they both get the volume. And guys tend to shoot a little bit better at home, so I think that favors Booker. And I feel like Hero is gonna have to carry the offensive load on this one somewhat. So I like this over 6 as well. I think worst case you get a push, but I really like that combo with Book and Hero over 6 3-point made combined.
I like it too. Tyler has been consistent. Yes, Van, I looked at that. Tatum over is a lock. Let's pivot to that real quick because I want to mention that I played Tatum over as well. He is, what is he at? He's pissed off at Kerr. 30 points. The one I really liked is the 8 rebounds. We were playing that consistently during the playoffs last year. Again, he's been under it, but I feel like he's going to play a lot tonight.
You got a lot of goblins too. I mean, if you feel to hedge the rebounds a little bit to 6.5, I think that's a layup for him.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would go with the goblin play on that, honestly, on the rebounds. Maybe take the straight play on the PRA. But he's been right there, and like you said, this could be a revenge game for Tatum. So, you could jump on one of these goblins at 24.5 on the points or the 6.5 rebounds.
It's funny. I'm looking at our guy Ross Brown, who's on here with us sometimes, and he's got Shea over 23.5 points, Tatum over 30 points, Bam over 15.5 points. I like all three. I like all three tonight. I feel like again, I just think that the Shea one is to me is easy money. I would be really surprised if that one didn't hit. Let's pivot back. I do think this is a Bam game tonight. A couple reasons. One, he's historically played pretty well against Phoenix. I just don't think they have the athleticism for him inside, and I know he didn't play that well in the last game. He was okay. He obviously was great in the Mexico City game without much resistance with Washington. You can see his numbers have been coming down. I think he gets there with free throws alone tonight. I think, again, he hasn't been great from the line, but he gets 8 attempts. He makes 6. I think that gets him part of the way. I don't know if I play Jimmy tonight. I kind of feel like Jimmy at the beginning of road trips may conserve himself a little bit. Denver's been a really bad matchup for him over time. So I kind of am feeling like, he may save a little bit for that. So I don't know that I'd play Jimmy.
Don't foul either. Like neither these aren't two high fouling teams, the Heat or the Suns.
No, they're not. They're not. And so I'm kind of looking at, pull up the hero clips once for me, and then I want to look at book. All right, so here are we. 2.5 3-pointers made. I'd play it over.
That's a goblin.
That's the goblin. Yeah, so 3.5 is the actual number.
Right.
4.5 over. 24.5 points and assists. I like that.
I'm giving you a straight number. It's either the goblin or the demon right now.
Okay. I like 4.5 assists for Tyler, but I would play the 24.5 points and assists tonight. I feel he has had big games against Phoenix. He had a huge game a couple of years ago. He tends to get up for Devin. He tries to prove himself, and you see what he's done here. Look at the numbers there in 4 of the last 5. Let's switch over to Phoenix for a second. Give me Booker and Durant if you can. Let's start with Booker. There's Beal. I wouldn't play Beal. I don't know.
The 4 rebounds. I kind of like the 4 rebounds.
I like that too
for Booker.
Mm-hmm. I like that too.
I don't think too much in this last 5. I mean, you could even hedge that down to the 3.5 on the Goblin play.
I like that one.
I'm not playing this 9.5 rebounds and assists also.
Mm-hmm. I think those are safe. He's been really difficult for Miami to deal with over the years. Go to Durant if you can. Um, 33.5 PRA, 6 rebounds.
An offensive rebound for KD against a terrible offensive rebounding defense of the Heat. I like that a lot. Even though you look at I just throw this right out the window. I think he gets 1 offensive rebound tonight.
I like the 17.5 field goals attempted too. So what are his numbers that late? Yeah, I'd play it.
He's been right there. I just want to jump back real quick. One for the Heat that I wanted to go under would probably be Rozier on these 7 threes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go under that. I think he goes under this.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to get away from Terry a little on this trip.
They got to get Jimmy involved somehow.
Well, they got to get Jimmy involved early. Do you know the numbers on Jimmy? Is there a first half play on Jimmy? I don't think so, right? I know you can do the live
quarter play as long as if there's a third quarter under, let's just take it on everybody.
No. Don't take it on Jimmy. So here's the thing with Jimmy. This is the most interesting stat of the season.
First quarter points. I would take that over.
I take the Bam under.
Oh, that's Bam. Sorry, Bam under 3.5.
No. I would take the Jimmy under. Jimmy's at 4.
Jimmy's at 4. I take Bam over. Jimmy under.
You know what Jimmy's averaging in the first quarter of the season?
1.5.
Exactly. And you know what Tyler's averaging?
7.
Tyler scored 53 points in the first 6 games of the season. What is Tyler's first? You absolutely have to play
5 first quarter points.
Yes. 5 first quarter points is a given. They run everything through him. I would absolutely play. Those are my first. Those might be my favorite props tonight. The other one I like, just looking at the board here, is I would play the Fox over on first quarter points against bad teams. He tends to be great early on. 6 points for him. They've got Toronto tonight. All right, so a lot to play tonight. Again, I think the hero props look good. Durant props look good to me. The Booker props look good. I play those over. Phoenix, they let you play. Exactly. They're gonna let him play. Tyler is gonna get to his game. It's funny, Van. I know Van follows our stuff. You would get a game on Phoenix, Denver, Jimmy. He probably won't play in Minnesota. Jimmy has skipped the Minnesota game for one reason or another. I think 3 of the past 4 years. So just something to look at there. All right. Thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. We'll have more stuff on the road trip here going forward. Again, put the code 5 down, play it. Helps you, gives you $50 to play, helps us. You guys like us being in business? PrizePicks helps that a lot. So we appreciate your cooperation with us. It's a great fantasy game. We wouldn't promote it if it wasn't. Have a good one, everyone.
Enjoy the game, everybody.